It has been over 101 years since the German expressionist film The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari was released, and revolutionized the idea of film as a whole, and basically created the horror film subsect. The movie totally uses this expressionist style to the maximum, and is one of the most artistic, meticulously designed films ever created, with the sets and backdrops alone making the experience worthwhile as a whole. The characters live in a fantastical world with a warped perspective, crazy architecture, and exaggerated expressions that make this one of those rare gems that, if adapted into a sound film, would likely be ruined. The movie uses that lack of sound to its advantage all the time and makes sure you are able to understand what's going on, despite also pioneering many storytelling film techniques. For example, how many times have you seen a movie that begins with the characters telling a story from the past, which makes up most of the movie, until the end where they return to the present? Well, this movie pulls that off in 1920, with only some short title cards and visual representations to tell the story. Dr. Caligari is totally drenched in an oppressive, macabre atmosphere that really helps it stand out. In comparison to most of these terrible, lazy, cash-grab horror movies that we get today, this movie doesn't try to scare viewers with loud, bombastic surprises or excessive violence, but rather an interesting mood around the world. The visual style is one of the factors in making this a landmark title in cinematic history, but don't expect it to have to carry the whole movie, because The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari has a lot more going for it than the artistic set design. The music is absolutely fantastic, with some guitar tracks. Yeah, this has some very Batman-sounding guitar riffs that at first sound awesome but feel totally out of place, but as the movie progresses, mix with the jazz and synthesizer tracks incredibly well. If Alfred Hitchcock was the master of suspense as a person, then this is definitely the movie equivalent of that title, because everything here feels built around the tension and atmosphere. The way the title cards move so slowly, shaking and gradually revealing more of their twisted, painted lines, helps make everything feel intimidating, and as if you never know what crazy stuff is going to happen next. The music cues, the intricate costumes, the great visual acting, and the varied locations all help it to be pretty dang scary even after all these years. My favorite horror movie ever, and one of my favorite movies in general, is Halloween. But get this, I don't consider it a scary movie. I'm not scared by Halloween, Friday the 13th, Scream, Alien, or Nightmare on Elm Street, and yet those are some of my favorite horror movies. So why? Because of the amazing and unique mood and atmosphere. Dr. Caligari has that in spades, and a lot of great tropes that would be expanded upon, such as a human going around and murdering people with a knife at nighttime, or even while they sleep, and a greedy man pulling the puppet strings to make more money and fame off of death. Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, and Wayland Yutani, anyone? Everything about this movie creates a house of cards of suspense, and at the end of each act, someone will make the subtlest move, and that whole contraption will come crashing down until it's slowly built back up again. It's an incredibly gratifying story to see through to the end, with a plot twist and ending that give us an amazing payoff, both of which are so good I won't even spoil them here. I'm not going to give you some kind of plot summary, because all you need to know is that after 100 years, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is 100% worth your time. And now, if you need me, I'll be going to an actual store I found called Caligari's, which sells furniture. So time to buy me a cabinet, y'all. 5 out of 5.